Welcome everybody to another. Are we live?
We live,
bro.
Man.
You are the worst,
3,
bro.
2.
Sometimes
that's how they do it.
First of all, this is Brutally Honest. Welcome everybody to your boy Stitches MC. Brutal keep the MILF hunter. If y'all the first time tuning in, what we talk about is the God's perspective. We talk a lot about relationships, lifestyles. We try to entertain you guys as well, but we keep it brutally honest, like I'm doing right now. Keith is the worst as a countdown. Like I told him, like, bro, when you click record, let me know when's the countdown, right? And he'll be like, okay, 3, 2, 1, and then I'll start going, and I'm over here just talking to myself. It's not even pressed, it's not even recording yet. Better now, like just like last week, you press record and then you sit down. He doesn't even say anything, and I'm just like this. Yo, bro, it's 7:30. Right? He's like, oh, I clicked live already. I'm like, yo, welcome to another Brutally Honest. Now today we're actually gonna be talking about, oh my gosh, you tried to trap me with a baby. Is that still a thing, or was it ever a thing? You know, because I was talking with my sister, and it was like that was never a thing. I was like, trying to trap somebody, and I'm saying trying to trap somebody with a baby because I don't know if y'all know this, but guys do this too. We also trying out some new mics. Let us know exactly how we sound. We definitely appreciate that. We also going to be talking about a first date, the do's and the don'ts, but not just a first date. I want to talk about the differences between a first date and a meet and greet. You feel me? Yeah, you like that, right? I got to throw you a curveball and things like that, but it's like I feel like we treat a lot of first dates when it should be just a meet and greet, you know? How many times have we been in situations where it's awkward? How many times have we set up a date and we're there and we're like, oh man, why am I here? I want to leave. It's dreading. It's awful, right? It's just dragging along. I want to talk about that, and I'm also going to talk about how dinner in the movie is dead. Can we stop doing this? It's 2019. It's over. We're not teenagers. If you're a teenager, you're in your early 20s, do what you got to do, bro.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Dinner in the movie is dead. It's over. It's over. Okay. It's over for a first date, maybe for a third. I'm okay with a third. I might slide in the second depending on how the first date. I ain't talking about the meet and greet. We're going to separate those, bro. How you doing, Keith? How's everything, man?
Man, I'm doing great, Stitch. To be honest, having a great time. It's funny because, in the industry, when they do the countdown, I want to speak on this since we're being brutally honest. That's how they do it, Stitch. They go 3, 2.
We still on that? The show is going, and he's still trying to count down. Bro, can you just tell me what's on your mind? How's the people doing? Press 1 if y'all watching us live. Press 2 if y'all watching us on the replay. Press 3 if y'all want a shout out. And you know what? Let's do something different. Let's put type in, I don't know, what's a good emoji for an iPhone and an emoji for an Android? How can we separate them, right?
I don't know.
Apples and oranges. Apple if you got an iPhone, and an emoji in orange if your Android users even have that emoji, Just emoji in orange down there. What's everything? What you have on your mind?
Honestly, I did want to ask you a quick question though. In all honesty, because you was talking about the dinner in the movie is dead. I don't believe in that. But let me ask you this. And hearing the questions you're asking, why are you still single? That's what I want to know. I mean, dinner in the movie is dead. You separating first date. Why are you single?
Why am I single?
Yeah.
I'm single because the reality is I don't even know who the hell I'm dating. And what I mean by that is that we're so hurt and torn and we're so filled with insecurities that we don't even show who we really are when we're getting to know somebody or when we're talking to somebody. Talking about why I'm single. Why I'm single, I don't know. Maybe the last girl I dated was still in love with her ex. I don't know why I'm still single, Keith. I don't know. Okay. It could be also because, I don't know, the last time, I was involved with somebody, she tried to trap me with a baby, and I'm a little turned off by that as well. So, I don't know, bro. You know what? This is why I'm single. I'm guy. Let's keep it brutally honest. I'm single because clearly, I asked for too much. I asked for too much, like loyalty and understanding. That's what I'm saying. Like, I
it
just
is
want
2019.
That's what I'm saying.
Asking for the L word.
So
any L word apparently is asking for too much.
Maybe I'm single because I want something serious, and no one's trying to be serious. Any other smart questions you got?
No, but I do want to touch on the somebody tried to trap you with a baby, are women still doing it?
It's not. I mean, I wouldn't say like it's a trap. I would say like not personally. I wouldn't say this happened to me a while ago, right? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say she tried to trap me with a baby. You know, like
okay,
not like that. I'm saying that the conversation. It was always talking about a baby, and we're keeping it brutally honest from a guy's perspective, right? Mm-hmm. It was just always talking about it, especially when it's somebody that you're not even serious with. You don't even know if you see a future with them. You're not even dating, really. You just, just getting to know each other at that moment. Mm-hmm. And shorty's like, oh, it's always talking about that. Oh, I think I'm pregnant. Oh, I want to have a boy. Oh, if I did, what would you do about it? And it was just things like that, and it's like.
Wait, hold on. Before you even go on with what happened next, were y'all in a relationship with these conversations?
And when I was talking to all my sisters about it, it was like, obviously that turns a guy off. Like, it's very young to do that. And this is, we're guys. We don't know how women think. And I'm curious to know, like, was it ever a thing as far as trapping somebody with a baby? Like, as far as, and because clearly it never worked. I spoke to my sister. She was like, it was always a thing. My other one, she was like, it was never a thing. And I was like, what you mean? She was like, no, I mean, it just never worked.
Okay. Okay. And I get that, because I was going to say, well, I sort of think it was a thing. I mean, I remember growing up hearing the adults talking about it, when I was a kid, and then growing up and being a kid and, getting into that myself a little bit and dealing with women, sexually and stuff like that, to where now those were things that were being brought up. I definitely could say it was a thing, but I think I agree with that. Having a baby by somebody is definitely not going to keep them. I mean, it might keep them in your life as far as the child's sake. And hey, if they're a deadbeat, maybe not even for that.
It might. You might. Okay, I'm glad that you said it like that.
Well, yeah, because having a baby doesn't keep somebody in a relationship or keep somebody under a roof in the house with you.
But a lot of people don't know this. And this is why we're talking about it, and we're talking about it and we're delivering it the way we're delivering it to get the message across. Mm-hmm. This is just bringing out awareness that a lot of people feel like because the relationship isn't working out, because the flame in the relationship has fizzled down, they feel like to rekindle that fire, they can have a baby within it, And we're talking, I know we started with, oh, she trying to trap me with a baby. I understand that, but we're trying to generalize it, like with people in relationship, not even in a relationship, just talking, people that are married as well, it can happen to anybody. And does it work? No, it doesn't work. It will never always work. It will never be sustained, maybe momentarily, temporarily in the beginning, just for a moment of time. But if you're really trying to solve your issues by having a baby, the issue is still going to be there and it's going to always resurface. And then what? Are you working on a basketball team or a football team? You feel me? Like how many
kids are you gonna have?
And the sad part about it is, it's like, and to be real with you guys, it's like, I feel like, just to clarify as far as why was it a turnoff, is because as a father myself, kids and children are extremely important to me. Mm-hmm. Not just that, it's a major, big responsibility.
It is.
Bringing a child into this world. And especially when you're at a certain age that you know better. When you know better, right? Because obviously we all make mistakes in our lives, right? But once you know better, you're gonna make more wise decisions as far as what situation are you gonna bring the child in. These are things that you're actually going to be thinking about. Do I want to bring this child into a dysfunctional relationship that I have with this person?
Yeah.
Am I ready? Because we're never really ready, but can you handle it? As far as, are your finances well, or is your employment up to par? Like, are you good, or are you struggling? Because if you're struggling to pay your bills and your bills, period, and bringing another child, that's going to be a lot more pressure on top of you. So the main reason why I feel like it is a major turnoff is because it is a big responsibility, and if you are a good father and a good mother, you're gonna take it as serious as it should be taken.
Nah, I definitely agree. And I mean, one of the things, I wanted to say in regards to that, and this is why I asked, were y'all even in a relationship when y'all were having these conversations, you know, I've known you for a while now, and I know one of the things you don't do is jump into a situation. You know what I mean? So being that that's the case, you know, when you saying y'all already having those kind of conversations, I'm like, is this somebody you were actually in a relationship with? Like that conversation happened first? Or were y'all still just dating and she's trying to, I want to say, insinuate or just put out there that maybe she wants another child? Was it like that, or was it more so like it was? And I guess obviously if it didn't work out, it must have been a constant thing to where just enough is enough. I don't want to keep having that conversation. But was it something planned, like where you're in a relationship and now this is the next level?
I feel like it was just very immaturity, and which is why we're talking what we're talking about. Like I said, you know, some people feel like that's talking about that is also a test. Like we spoken about tests. Like maybe if I talk about this, I could see how serious he or she is actually taking me. So let me bring a serious topic up about and see the reaction, and then determine how they really feel.
Okay, I got you.
Just to answer your question, you feel me?
And I guess what I'm trying to say is, and putting it out there, and for ladies, fellas as well, maybe, you know, before you have a conversation about what you want as far as having kids and going to that next level there, maybe you should actually be in a relationship with somebody you see yourself spending the rest of your life with. Because even when we have a kid, you know, have kids or whatever the case may be, and we understand that it may not keep a person, but if y'all have a kid together and that person is involved, for the rest of y'all lives, you know, that child, y'all have to interact in some form or fashion. So what I mean is, a lot of times we jump into something, we say, okay, we want to have kids, this, that, and the third, get pregnant, and not even realize if we have the same goals in life. If we want the same thing. Like, you know, I want to buy a house in Miami and live by the beach, but you hate warm weather. You don't like being by the beach. You prefer, you know, somewhere that's a little bit more dry, a little bit more cool, or something. Like, be on the same page with somebody, especially if you're talking about having kids. And I mean, planning is definitely important whenever that discussion is involved.
But it's like you're saying, but with your example that you put out there, is like being a prisoner of the moment. For an example, that lust phase. You feel me? But like you said, oh, you're the type that you don't like to rush in a situation. Yeah, exactly. Because so a lot of times we shouldn't, none of us should really rush into a situation or a decision making. Because a lot of times we don't even know if it's our heart or our minds making the decision. And I'm not saying which one to follow, because it can vary as well. I'm sorry to tell you guys, your mind is not always right and your heart's not always right as well. It's like your mother. You know, mom knows best. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. Most times they do. I love you, mom. But it's like, you know, it's a situation like, especially like you talking about getting pregnant, and you're like, do I really want to have a baby with this person? Especially when she just knocks on my door and I'm not even expecting her.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like what we was talking about last week, bro. Don't pop up at my crib unannounced.
Yeah, definitely.
You
don't
seem
do
like
that.
you have a lot to
space.
You?
Don't do it to me.
To you?
Yeah, don't do it to me.
I don't know, man.
That's a pet peeve of mine. That's one of those things where it's like,
I think sometimes it's okay, bro.
Nah, when? I would love to know when that's okay.
Why don't you tell me when it's not? I mean, besides the obvious, like, why not?
I'm going to say this, and like I said, maybe it's a personal pet peeve of mine. If it's not yours, maybe after this show it will be. But hear me out. And this is all I mean when it comes to somebody showing up at my house unannounced, period. First off, I'm going to think you Jehovah's Witness, because they the only ones that come knocking on my door, ringing my doorbell,
so you're telling me no matter what,
no matter what.
Yo,
bro,
you are not,
listen,
thank God I wasn't by your street, bro, because I was just driving, chilling, right, and all of a sudden, you know, 5-0 passes me. I ain't think much of it. You know, they was going the other way. So they popped that Yui. I was like, oh, snap. So I just pulled into the cut, parked the car, and went to some dude's house and I didn't even know. Just rang the doorbell, like, and they just swapped. If that was your house, I would have gotten locked up in front of you and you would have put me on Snapchat.
Probably because you want to know, here's what would have happened. Here's what would have happened. You would have rung my doorbell and knocked on the door.
Can you at least go to the stash and pay my bill?
Right, maybe. I mean, we boys. I got you.
You going to the stash, my stash.
But here's what I'm saying. Just hear me out. Here's me out. If you knocking on my door and you didn't think, let me call first and say,
I have a chance to call.
What do you got a cell phone?
Yes, I have a cell phone.
Cell phones go with you everywhere you go, right?
Damn right.
You had a chance.
And you think you're on speed dial?
Listen, I don't gotta be.
Listen,
but look.
I'm driving, paranoid. I'm seeing random brew behind me.
Look.
I'm out.
Pull into the driveway, hit my phone. Yo, I'm at your door. Come open up.
They're like this.
Something.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know who lives here?
Because here's what's going to happen.
Who lives here? Sure, it's one of my best friends.
Here's what's going to happen. If you don't call before you knock on the door, this is what's gonna happen.
The patio light's gonna turn off.
All the lights gonna turn off.
It was on.
Because like I said, I'm gonna think you Jehovah's Witness, bro, and I ain't home. I'm cutting off lights on the TV, cutting the volume.
Not to talk about religion or anything like that, but they do have a positive message, bro.
I'm not knocking that. It's just when I'm home on a Sunday morning trying to relax and do me, I don't want to be stopped or interrupted to go talk to somebody about something. There's no way
that somebody could just pop up.
No,
at all.
And listen, and honestly, I was messaging somebody and I had asked them, like, yo, would you let somebody just show up at your house unannounced?
How about this?
And you want to know what they told me?
What they told me?
If it was their partner. Like, if I'm in a relationship and my man wanted to come by, then yeah, he could just show up whenever he wants. It's not like I got anything to hide.
But you just messed me up because I actually wanted to ask a question right now. Because I actually wanted to say, if you guys are in a relationship, are you okay with your partner popping up unannounced? That's number one. The second part to that, which I don't even want to get them confused, I might have to wait a couple of minutes. I don't got patience for that. The second part to that is you're just talking to somebody, and that person wanted to be sweet and pop up with a dozen roses or just a rose. Like, hey, I was just in the neighborhood thinking of you. Here it is, and I'm gonna be on my way. How you gonna think about that? Because I mean, I'm not gonna even ask you. I know how you're set on this. I got you
right now.
Do not pop up at my crib.
Yo, I don't even like surprises, bro. I don't even like surprises. You keep your roses, keep whatever you got until you call me and be like, yo, I'm about to come through.
Yo, we had a surprise cruise for Keith's birthdays planned out. All those emails I sent, just disregard. He doesn't like surprises.
Nope, you hit me up first. Somebody send me a message. Y'all my people. Somebody let me know. I don't like surprises. I hate walking into something and people. No, I don't do that. But honestly though, bro, like I feel like this, and I'm gonna give you an example. How about I'm gonna give you an example. First, I'm gonna say just. Somebody, and this happened a while ago, but somebody actually thought it was okay to do this, right? To actually come to the house and knock on the door, ring the doorbell, etc. Now, this person was getting to know me. We weren't in a relationship. We were just talking, getting to know one another.
From one comment to that, continue.
Okay. And in that process. And it was sort of like what you said. They thought it would be a nice gesture to try to surprise and do something for me. Which, by all means, I get the gesture. I'm not saying I don't.
But you don't like surprises and just don't. Okay,
well, no. Well, my thing is this: if you were gonna come to my house to surprise me with a gift, first of all, the gift was a surprise. Why was you showing up another one? Like, you could have called and said, hey, I'm about to come over. You didn't have to tell me you were bringing something. Mm-hmm. Once you got here, I would have been like, oh, wow, you got me something? Thank you. I'm appreciative. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that if you do something out of your heart or out of your kindness and you want to, quote, unquote, surprise me with it, then I'm just going to dismiss it. But I think if you show up at my house without telling me, first off, I'm not even looking at the surprise. I'm looking at your insecurities. And let me just state that first.
So can I stop playing the devil's advocate and just say that I agree with you 100%? Because at the end of the day, I could be starving and if Shorty pops up with a plate of food, I'm open the door. Thank you, Ma. I appreciate that. And slam it right in her face and go eat it. And I'm good. You feel me?
I thought that was bad.
Nah,
I wouldn't even open the door. I just leave her outside.
I only opened the door because I was hungry.
Damn, bro.
I canceled the pizza delivery after that. I thought it was the pizza guy. Pizza guy. So I was like, oh, hey,
I'm saying
you work for pizza? I don't see the
you're going to end up staying outside. I'm not going to let you in. And apparently you either.
Do's and don'ts for a first date. Do's and don'ts for a first date. Give me the don'ts. Give me the don'ts.
Don'ts on a first date?
Don'ts on a first date, man.
Don't talk about your ex.
Obviously, that's number one.
Unless you're asked.
I feel like that's number one. Unless you're asked, don't ask about your ex. Don't ask about your ex. Don't ask about
right.
Don't talk about your ex.
Don't ask about your ex.
Just don't do it. Don't do it.
In the past is in the past for a reason.
Like don't talk about your ex. Don't bring out ex. I don't care if it. Don't bring out anything with the ex in it.
I think that's the worst thing on a first date. Another thing.
That's a major turn off. That is like the number one turn off.
For a first date. Don't go to the movies.
I agree with that.
Now, I wouldn't say dinner in the movie. You said that in the beginning. I wouldn't say dinner in the movie because I do think dinner for a first date is okay.
I don't think so. Because you're trying to get to know somebody and it's rude to talk with your mouth full, Keith.
Well, I understand that, but your food takes time to come out, Stitch. In the meantime, you can have small talk, and as the food comes, obviously you chew your food.
Most of the times you go on a date with a female, they're ordering the salad anyway, and you're taking it to go, so...
There you go. See, that keeps it simple.
So then why even go on a date for?
Well, I mean, something like that is simple. That's quick, fast, let's get this and go.
Quick and fast? There's Steak and Shake for that.
Steak? Well...
like, talk to me, bro. Like the first dates. What are the don'ts? Okay, so you agree with not the movie because you're watching the movie.
Yeah, you can't really talk and get to know somebody on a first date.
The dinner part. You feel me? Like, do's and don'ts for a first date. Don'ts, I completely agree with the ex. Just don't do it. It's the number one turn off. Another thing, don't be so open as well. I think that's important, bro. I think leave a sense of mystery behind. You feel me? Like, just don't be an open book. Just don't give them, here, this is me, this is the whole plan, this is everything you're going to get. Like, leave something for the upcoming dates. You feel me? Leave something for the second and the third date that's coming along. That's what I feel as far as the don'ts. Do be at your best. Dress to impress, but be at your best.
Definitely.
That's number one. Be at your best. I was watching the Flash episodes, the only episode I watched on TV. But this guy Cisco, he had a date, and his friend did like a background check on her, and he was like, "Yo, look, these are her exes and the guys that she likes." Wait. So he went on the date. It was reminiscent. He went on the date 3 times, and every time that he went, he was portraying one of her exes, and every single time she was turned off. And at the end of it all, she was like, I really liked the nerdy type. Wow. And all this time, he thought that she liked the rocker, or the guy with money,
the guy she was
or the
going
cool
for.
guy, or the player, things like that. And so that's why I'm bringing that example. Like, be yourself and be at your best. You feel me? Don't go out your way. Don't try to curve your own morals and beliefs and standards just to impress the person that you're with as well. Agreed. Like if you're going to come off as a smut, you're going to be taken as one. Earn your respect as well. I feel like there's the major difference, and that's what I wanted to talk about. We treat a lot of first dates when it should only be a meet and greet. You feel me? I feel like there's a big difference between that. Now, when we're talking about a first date, now this is the date. Now, it starts with a meet and greet. You feel me? Like, so it's like I'm just meeting the person. I'm going to see how I like the person. If I could even be in the same space around the person. Can I even eat with this person?
Or have a conversation.
Can I be next to this person?
Can we talk?
Can we actually talk? Because if I'm just going on a first date, let's have a dinner and a movie, but she's not the talkative type. Now I'm here eating dinner and we're just eating, and now it's awkward, and it's like, that broccoli was good, right? I had a little bit too much vinegar. Wow, what a deep conversation that is. I should have stayed home for that. This is what I mean. Like, a lot of us, we're better texters. We're better on the phone. We're different when we're face to face and vice versa and things like that. And we're trying to get to know. I want to know all sides of you. So if I'm texting you, okay, whatever. I mean, I love to text because text, to me, there's no time frame or time limit. Like, if I text you today and you respond to me tomorrow, that's fine. I'll respond to you the next day. I'll respond to you when you can respond whenever you can. I will never stress anybody about why it took you so long to respond. You respond when you respond.
Everybody got a life.
I respond when I respond. Yeah. And I don't want to be questioned, so I'm not going to question you as well.
Facts. Well, one of the things just to add for the do's and don'ts, and this relates to the meet and greet also, and I just thought about this, be on time. That's actually very important.
Be on time.
On time.
Be early.
Yeah. I mean, you never...
Not too early, because now you're thirsty.
Yeah.
But be a good 15, 10 minutes early, especially for the event that you're actually doing. Now, if you do decide to go for a movie, I don't recommend it, but let's just say you do decide to go and do it, it's your third, fourth date, whatever. Have the tickets in hand, buy them online, or get there a little early so y'all can avoid the waiting line. You feel me? Showing initiative, it gives you a lot of points as well.
It does. It shows you prepare and you're ready. That you took the time to actually get ready for her, and she'll notice that. Just like as men, we always look at how a woman's dressed to see how she got ready for us, right? Especially those first impressions.
You know, Christopher Rodriguez, thanks for tuning in and commenting. We completely appreciate that. Don't bring them to the crib on the first date. Now that brings me back to one of the episodes that we had last year as far as, is it okay to sleep with your partner on the first date? You remember that?
Yeah.
You said it's fine, you're adults, you make your own decisions. That's what Keith's point of view was on that. It's like you're an adult, nobody's here to judge and do you, right?
Yep.
My point of view was that is, I wouldn't do it just because of the self-respect, number one, and second, because of the impression that you want to leave behind. You feel me? So I definitely agree as far as don't take them to the crib on the first date. It doesn't even matter if it's a nightcap or if, because it's the first date. You don't even know. So let's avoid some psychopaths as well, too. That's another plus for that.
And I can definitely understand that aspect. You don't want to be bringing somebody to your house on the first date. You don't even know how they are as a person. Like you said, you might end up with a stalker or somebody who's stuck on you, and now all of a sudden they have your address. Yeah, then you really going to have some unannounced visitors knocking at your door.
Y'all watching this live, press 1. Watching this on a replay, press 2. And if y'all want to shout out, press 3. Next week, guys, we got something special planned out. Everybody knows how much I love music. I'm in love with music. Set something up next week. We're gonna be at another different location. And we're actually gonna be talking about something that's music related. We're gonna be talking about the relationships within the music industry, not just music industry, but just the entertainment industry as well. Like for an example, if Shorty's dating even just a promoter, a DJ, an artist, anything with the entertainment industry, the stresses, how to get through it, and if it's even worth it. I have a couple of special guests tuning us. I'm not gonna mention too much. Got too much. I gotta leave something for the mystery, right?
Tune in.
Definitely tune in next week for that. Keith, you want to run through a couple of the comments real quick?
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to state, because we was talking about the first date. Sierra actually posted, "What if you never been on a date? What advice would you give?" Honestly, I would say to that question, if you've never been on a date, well, you probably haven't, just didn't realize they were dates, or maybe you didn't call them dates. Maybe you thought you were just hanging out. But the reality is a date is something that's planned. Like you want to go out, you're going to go out, whether it's just for ice cream or coffee or something simple, like for a meet and greet, where you just sort of catch a vibe with somebody and see if you're actually interested or have similar opinions or goals and things like that. From there, you would then set up a date. Like, look, okay, we both like horror movies. And again, maybe the movies isn't the best example, but just stating, we both like that. Why don't we go watch a horror movie together? Or we both like theme parks. We live in Florida, here in Orlando. You like Disney or Universal, let's go there. Busch Gardens. I like Busch Gardens. Go to Tampa.
And not to take anything away, but to add on and to echo it, is like my best advice is keep it low key, keep it simple. Things to avoid alcohol, avoid anything that's gonna get you intoxicated, avoid anything that's gonna put you out of your own mental state. Like be who you are, be in a good space, be happy, smile. Like I said, a good coffee shop, out for ice cream, maybe even an event, maybe even an art festival that they got, maybe even just a carnival, just something really low key. I just want to end this with, a lot of times, like, we try to portray who we feel like that person wants us to be accepted. When the reality is, our flaws and imperfections is the reasons why they fall in love in the first place.
Facts. I mean,
you laughed over there. Now he ain't got nothing to say.
I was
Make sure
just
y'all
gonna
tune
say. I laughed because
I'm about
Chris
to...
posted when we was talking about don't be late. He said, "Nah, be 5 minutes late just to make sure he is who she posted."
If I'm doing that, I'm 5
just
minutes.
to make sure she
I'm
who
5
she
minutes early
posted.
for that.
You ain't getting catfished. I thought that was funny.
Thank
That was a good
everybody
comment,
for tuning
bro.
in. It's your boy
Definitely
Stitches
thank y'all.
NBC.
Thank y'all. Your boy Brutal Keith.
Thank y'all for tuning in. What we got? We got a lot of apples for iPhones. Android. Oh snap!
I was gonna say,
got oranges.
I was gonna say, man, I seen a couple of oranges on there. By the way, it might have been some more oranges than apples.
Y'all want to see me? Y'all want to meet me? Y'all want to meet and greet? Catch me at the Dominican Festival at Lee Vista Park in Orlando this Sunday. Y'all ain't gonna be able to miss me. I'll be one of the flyest dudes in there. So y'all, it's your boy Stitches NBC.
Que lo que. I'm gonna be in there too.
Mr. Brutally Honest with the MILF on top.
Why you gotta throw in the MILF on top?